Page 64, Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy. I'll go through my routine for learning this. It's a very famous melody by Tchaikovsky. It's 2 pages long, treble and bass clef. The no sharps or flats in the key signature, so we're either in the key of C major or A minor. If I look at the end, the last chord is here. That's an A minor chord. Figure we're in A minor. However, I do the scales and arpeggio for the key signature, so I'm going to do the C major and A minor stuff. Yeah. And it's 4/4 time. Let's take it one hand at a time. I got some fingering suggestions here. Start out right hand here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Just reach down. I want to stay in this position. I just come down for the thumb. For measure 4, you can, if you want, use thumb on that because your next note is way up here. And you're above the keys even with big fat fingers. You can raise the hands above the, if you want, or you can use 2, whichever. And up here for measure 5. 1 N. 2. And they want you to do 1, 3, 2. That's okay if you want to do that. I typically will use different fingers on repeated notes. I just do it out of habit. So on measure 6, I would do a 1, 2, 1. And then at measure 7, you have a 2, 1, 2. You can do a 1, 2, 1 here if you want. But then you got to do a 1 again. Or you can come over. If you don't want the thumb twice, then do a 1, 2, 3 for measure, the last of measure 7. 1, 2, 3. Then a thumb. Or just use the fingering in the book, whichever. For measure 9, you come down here. 1 N. They want thumb, 3, 1, 5. That's okay. There's another fingering. I can just stay here. Reach up with little finger, and now thumb. That way I've only moved 1 time. Here. But if you want to do that move here, and then here, and here, you can crawl up there. It's kind of fun. It's just not necessary in this case. You decide. What I suggest here on measure 10 for the 2-note things here, and then a 2, 4 for the 8th notes, and then a 3, 5. Can you do that? Can you go back and forth like that? It takes a little practice, but you need to be able to do it. So here, that way you're in position for 2, 4 again. And then at the bottom, the last line is measure, 18? It's 1 N. And it's just stay here. They don't need the natural sign of measure 19. It's a natural anyway, but they're being clear because you just had an upstrop. So. And for the last measure, I suggest a 2, 4, 1, 5. So I get all these notes in one hand position. You can use one on both. I just like to do this. It comes in handy in a lot of pieces, so I just, out of habit, will finger it that way. Left hand, broken chords. D sharp, and they're both black keys, so you might be able to get away with that. Let's go down to measure 6, where you're here, and then they want you here, and then a 5, 4, and then in here, and then come down. It doesn't really fall under the fingers real well. Well, this is orchestra music, not piano music. There's other fingerings you can do to prepare that. I can get into position by coming up here or something, but just go ahead and do this, what they're saying, and measure, and then come down. And then here. Okay. And then measure 12. And then screech up and use little finger on the second one. That way you can reach up to the octave. So it's... So you're ready? Put the hands together here just, and again, when I put the hands together, I'm just interested in which fingers are going down together. These are together here, and then I'll measure 5 when it comes in, because Do you see the double bars between measures 4 and 5? Well, that's the indication of you're leaving one section and going into a new. So those first 4 measures are introduction. That's a section. And now the actual piece starts here in measure 5. And then next here, and then here, and then here. I typically would do a 2. You can do a 1, whatever finger works for you, and then go down. Hold that down, and then here. Anyway, you go through and put the hands together, and then go back over the treble spots, probably all of it, and get rid of any hesitations anywhere. Go as slow as you need to go, but no hesitations anywhere. It's a steady beat throughout. Then I think about the articulation. The staccatos are going to be short, flexing at the wrist. I'm here. I'm on the key and I'm bouncing off each time. Bum, 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 each time. Then I'll measure 5 where it starts. You're up here. Half notes are not staccato. Anyway, you put in the staccatos. At the end, the last measure, there's staccatos with accents. Means you just play them a little louder. It's just more weight. Don't tense up again. Just using more weight on them. Let the wrist claps each time. Then the dynamics. What starts out piano soft. That's both hands. You see all these notes together on here when it comes. It's actually just one chord, and both hands are sharing the chord. Because one hand could play it all here, but they split it up between the hands. So here it's all soft. You'll have to decide what soft is, and then I'll measure 5 when it starts. It's moderately soft, but that's the melody. So actually, it's this. The left hand is going to stay down soft. You have a crescendo of measure 9, up to moderately loud. Here, the left hand stays in the background. You plan this out on this crescendo. Otherwise, you'll be moderately loud by the end of measure 9. Yeah. I'm already there. That's too much. So stay there. Now come up a little bit. Now. It's like every 2 beats I went up. Stay there, and the measure 12 here, down. You get 2 beats to come down, and the left hand's doing it. So you're moderately loud, or the right hand's moderately loud. This is moderately soft here. So the right hand's moderately soft, like you were at the beginning. And then you get loud again coming down, and you end it loud. With accents, I don't know about accents and loud, that makes it very loud. Just play them loud at the end. And then the speed. I've heard this at all kinds of different speeds. Whatever you can play accurately. All right, just don't drag it. They've added a little bit of pedal. You don't need pedal in this piece. You do just fine. You get the staccatos. If you use pedal, you're going to cover up the staccatos. What they're doing is they're adding the overtones on parts of it. Gives a little contrast. So we examine. Let's explore. What effect is the pedal having? How does it change the sound? Starting at measure 5, I'm going to push the notes down right after, or push the pedal down right after the note. I'm going to change the pedal right after the note, so it's overlapping. And just like you say, and this is the sound I get if I do that. measure 8 is not pedaled. You get the idea. This is, you can experiment with the pedal. I'm kind of split. See, a lot of times when pedaling in piano, we have to, it's a give and take, a balance. You get something, but you have to give something else up. Here, we get the overtones on this. This sounds nice. Sounds nice, but we lose the staccato. We're losing the staccato. So you have to decide, because the markings in the book are suggestions. Your teacher can help you decide. Do whatever your teacher tells you to do. Whatever I suggest to you is a suggestion. What sound are you after? For this lesson, I'll go ahead and pedal it like they're showing, but if I were going to play this, I would probably play it without pedal, so I can hear the staccatos throughout. That's how all the book marks it. I would prefer it without pedal, I think. Now keep in mind, if you're pedaling it like the book says, when you get to measures like 16, here where the pedal comes up, make sure the pedal comes up so you hear a staccato. So measure 15 is here, and then let the pedal come up so it's a staccato. Measure 17. As you play that last beat, the pedal comes up, so we hear a staccato. Same thing. All of these is the same thing. And then in the last measure, you can go ahead and do a staccato pedal. That is, you pedal with the notes. The pedal goes down with the hands and up each time. Here, it just gives you overtones for those. That helps to, the accents and all, it gives it a little more. That's how I would do it.